Have you ever felt like your cat understands you more than it should? Like it knows when you're sad, when you're about to leave, or even when you're talking about it? What if I told you your cat isn't just reacting randomly, but actually understanding parts of your world in ways science is only beginning to uncover? Cats have always been seen as mysterious. Unlike dogs, they don't always respond on command, and they often seem distant or independent. But recent research from animal behavior scientists and veterinary studies suggests something fascinating. Cats are far more aware, observant, and emotionally intelligent than we give them credit for. In fact, your cat may be quietly studying you every single day. So, today, we're diving into something surprising. 10 things your cat understands that you probably didn't even realize. Let's start with something many cat owners have experienced but rarely question. Your cat might actually understand your voice, not just the sound, but the intention behind it. Studies from animal cognition researchers in Japan have shown that cats can recognize their owner's voice and even distinguish it from strangers. They may not always respond like dogs, but that doesn't mean they didn't hear you. In many cases, your cat is choosing whether or not to react. And if you've ever called your cat and seen its ear twitch slightly without it coming to you, that's not ignorance. That's awareness. But the real reason this matters might surprise you. Your cat isn't just hearing your voice, it's learning patterns. Over time, it associates your tone with certain outcomes. A soft voice might mean comfort. A sharp one might signal danger. So, next time you speak to your cat, remember it's listening more closely than you think. Now, here's something even more fascinating. Your cat understands your emotions. Yes, really. Research published in veterinary behavior journals shows that cats can pick up on human emotional cues through facial expressions, body language, and even scent changes. If you've ever noticed your cat sitting near you when you're sad or stressed, that's not a coincidence. Your cat is responding to subtle changes in your behavior. Imagine this. You've had a bad day. You sit down quietly, and suddenly your cat appears and curls up beside you. It might not seem like much, but to your cat, something has changed and it's reacting to that shift. What scientists discovered is fascinating. Cats can mirror emotional energy, often becoming calmer or more attentive when their owner is upset. But here's a question for you. Does your cat ever act differently? Depending on your mood. Moving on, let's talk about routines. Cats understand your daily habits better than you realize. In fact, they may know your schedule more precisely than you do. Feeding times, sleep patterns, when you leave the house, your cat tracks it all. That's why it often shows up exactly when you're about to feed it, even if you haven't looked at the clock. But here's where it gets interesting. Cats don't just follow routines, they predict them. They use environmental cues, like lighting, your movements, and even sounds like keys or alarms to anticipate what's about to happen. So when your cat runs to the door before you even pick up your keys, it's not guessing. It's analyzing patterns it has learned over time. And this leads to another surprising ability. Your cat understands cause and effect. This is a key part of animal intelligence. For example, if your cat learns that meowing loudly gets your attention, it will repeat that behavior. If scratching the door makes you open it, it reinforces that action. But the real twist is this: your cat may also understand what actions lead to rewards or consequences. That's why some cats test boundaries. They're not being naughty. They're experimenting. They're figuring out what works. Now let's explore something deeply intriguing. Your cat understands your attention. It knows when you're focused on it and when you're not. Ever noticed your cat walking across your keyboard while you're working? Or sitting directly in front of your screen? That's not random behavior. Cats are highly sensitive to where your attention is directed. Studies suggest that cats are more likely to approach humans who are looking at them compared to those who aren't. They may even interrupt your activities to redirect your focus. In a way, your cat is saying, "Hey, pay attention to me." But here's something even more surprising. Cats can understand gestures, like pointing. Well, they're not as responsive as dogs. Research has shown that many cats can follow a human pointing gesture to locate food or objects. This means your cat is not just reacting, it's interpreting your body language. And if that wasn't enough, your cat may also understand its own name. Multiple studies have confirmed that cats can recognize their names, even when spoken by strangers. However, whether they respond, well, that's a different story. But the real reason cats don't always respond isn't because they don't understand, it's because they're independent decision makers. Unlike dogs, which evolved to work closely with humans, cats evolved as solitary hunters. So when your cat hears its name and ignores you, it's not confusion, it's choice. Now here's something many people don't realize. Your cat understands territory and ownership. Everything in your home from furniture to objects can become part of your cat's mental map. That's why it rubs against things, marking them with scent glands. It's not just affection, it's communication. When your cat rubs against you, it's marking you as part of its territory. In a strange but fascinating way, your cat is saying, "You belong with me." And this leads us to something even deeper. Your cat understands social bonds. While cats are often seen as solitary, they can form strong emotional connections with humans. Research comparing cat-human relationships to human-child attachment has found that many cats show secure attachment behaviors. They seek comfort, show distress when separated, and prefer familiar people. So when your cat follows you around the house or sleeps near you, it's not just habits, connection. But now, let's reveal one of the most surprising facts of all. Your cat may understand when you're about to leave, before you even realize it yourself. Cats are incredibly observant. They notice tiny changes like the clothes you wear before going out, the sound of your shoes, or the way you move differently when you're preparing to leave. Over time, they connect these signals with your absence. That's why some cats hide, act distant, or become extra affectionate right before you leave. They're reacting to something you haven't even consciously noticed yet. What scientists discovered is, fascinating cats are constantly predicting future events based on past experiences. In a way, your cat is always one step ahead. So now, let me ask you, does your cat start acting differently right before you leave the house? As we come to the end of this journey, one thing becomes clear. Your cat is not just a passive companion. It's an intelligent, observant, and emotionally aware creature that is constantly learning about you. It understands your voice, your emotions, your habits, and even your attention. It predicts your actions, forms deep bonds, and quietly observes everything around it. The next time your cat stares at you, don't just assume it's being mysterious. It might actually be studying you, understanding you in ways you never imagined. And now, I want to hear from you. What's the strangest or most surprising thing your cat does? Have you ever felt like your cat understands you on a deeper level? Let me know in the comments, because your story might reveal even more about these incredible animals. And remember, your cat might not always show it, but it understands more than you think.